My name is Patty Campos. This is my special topics presentation for Sociology 354. It is entitled, Should Couples Live Together Before Marriage? What is cohabitation? Two people that live together and are in a sexual or romantic relationship without being married engage in what is called cohabitation. Cohabitation has become much more common in the past several decades. In 2017, Pew Research found that there were 18 million unmarried partner households in 2016. It has become a natural step in the dating process, leading towards marriage. According to research in 2010 by Jose, Daniel O'Leary, Moyer, and Bueller, there are different types of cohabitation. There is dating cohabitation, which is an alternative way to being single. There is premarital cohabitation, or trial marriage, which is used as a testing ground for marriage. And there is substitute marriage, which is an alternative to marriage. So why do couples decide to move in together? Research by Rhodes in 2009 showed that many cohabitating couples gave financial convenience and spending more time together as their main reasons to cohabitate. This was followed by the desire to test the relationship before marriage and the disbelief in the institution of marriage by 6% of participants. While these reasons seem beneficial and make cohabitation look more appealing, there are downsides to cohabitation. I believe it is important to learn about this topic because it changes the pathway and the experience before marriage. More importantly, it has a direct impact on the quality, duration, and on the future of marriages. I argue that if couples want a stable, durable marriage, they should not live together before getting married. This is because, first and foremost, cohabitation has significant negative association with both marital stability and marital quality. Secondly, couples should not cohabit because couples that live together have a higher likelihood of divorce with certain exemptions. And lastly, there are negative outcomes for the children of cohabitating parents. The effect of cohabitation on marriage has generally been evaluated in two ways, in terms of marital stability and marital quality. In research conducted by Jose et al. In 2010, long-term cohabitations that do not go on to marriage were found to be less stable, less committed, and to have lower relationship quality. Those considering cohabitation should consider their commitment in the relationship as well as their expectations of what cohabitating will or will not lead to. Discussing each other's expectations and each other's desired outcome is crucial. Why is marital quality and stability lower for couples who cohabit? According to Jose et al. In 2010, compared to non-cohabitators, cohabitators tend to be less religious, less traditional family-wise, they interact more aggressively with each other, they have more negative, fewer positive interactions, they lack communication within the relationship. All these factors affect the quality and stability of their marriages. It is well established that people who cohabit before marriage are likely to divorce by a 50% chance. Research from 2010 by the National Center for Family and Marriage indicates that those with less education are more likely to cohabit. Their relationships are less stable and lack economic security. Therefore, they're more likely to divorce. Also in 2010, Langston and Gelovera found that family views and accepting views on divorce also are contributing factors, as well as less stable lives due to work and travel. Couples are less likely to divorce if they are committed to one another. Commitment is a detrimental factor in the marriage's future. In 2010 research by Goodwin, Mosher, and Chandra, couples who were already engaged before marriage were found to be less likely to divorce. Also in 2010, Jose et al. Found that couples who eventually marry are also less likely to divorce. The age at which couples marry is also an important element. In 2010, Goodwin et al. Discovered that people who marry after age 25 are less likely to divorce. According to research from 2008 by Bulanda and Manning, children living in cohabitating parent families are more likely to engage in sex at an earlier age, more likely to have a higher likelihood of having a teen pregnancy. They are less likely to graduate from high school and have more emotional and behavioral problems compared to children of married parents. Cohabitation and marriage differ in fundamental ways that may have implications for child well-being. Cohabitating parents devote less time to child rearing. They may neglect their child and pay attention to their partners instead. Change in family structure by serial cohabitators produces instability for the children, and teen pregnancy and poor academic performance is attributed to the parents' liberal sexual views and behaviors since they have influence on the child. So that's what we briefly know from research. What does the media have to say about cohabitation? I first found an article written in 2014 by Haynes in CNBC. In the article, she discusses the findings of a study. The study states that the biggest predictor of divorce is the age at which a couple begins living together, whether before the wedding vows or after. She goes on to say that once researchers control for the age variable, it turns out that premarital cohabitation by itself has little impact on the length of a relationship, and that those who began living together unmarried or married before the age of 23 were the most likely to later split. She argues that it is the type of marital cohabitation that predicts divorce, not necessarily cohabitation itself. The second article I found coincided with the first article. In 2014, Fox from The Atlantic wrote that the older people are when they make their first commitment, cohabitation, or marriage, the better their chances for marital success. She adds that individuals who committed to cohabitation or marriage at the age of 18 saw a 60% rate of divorce, whereas individuals who waited until 23 to commit saw a divorce rate more around 30%. In 2017, Goldfarb wrote an article for the New York Times entitled, "What I Wish I'd Known Before Moving In Together." She states that living together before you're married is a big step legally, financially, and emotionally. Most couples don't take the time to walk through the financial and legal implications of cohabitation beforehand. According to leading legal and financial experts, that's a major mistake and a missed opportunity. Apart from financial and legal concerns, cohabitation creates a new set of emotional constraints. Therefore, talking about all of the possible what-if scenarios is the only way to make sure that living together is the right move for couples. To analyze, does the media provide us with the same information on cohabitation as recent studies? The media sources seem to do so. Goodwin, Haynes, and Fox all agree that age is a defining factor when it comes to the success of a cohabitating couple, although Haynes and Fox state that the age to best move in with someone is 23, while Goldwin says 25. Goldfarb notes the importance of communication within a relationship. So does Jose Adele, when they give advice to discuss expectations and desired outcomes of cohabitation before moving in together. Therefore, the media followed along the findings from research on cohabitation and accurately reported coinciding findings about cohabitation. This is the end of my presentation. Here's a list of properly cited sources that I utilized throughout the presentation.